We are in Italy to cover the G7 summit, but we've been tracking the developments in Kuwait too. The tragedy that took the lives of 49 workers. 40 of them were Indians. They were killed in a deadly fire. They were employed by a private company, mostly to do odd jobs. More than 50 others have suffered injuries and are in hospital. We have some pictures from the aftermath of the tragedy, but before showing them, we would like to advise viewer discretion. These images are disturbing. That's the building which caught fire. It is near Kuwait's capital, Kuwait City. More than 200 workers were crammed into this 6-story building. They came from different parts of the world: Pakistan, the Philippines, Egypt and Nepal, but a majority of them came from India. Yesterday morning around 4:30 a.m. local time, the building caught fire. Most people inside were sleeping at the time, so they were there trapped in the fire and died due to suffocation. Some of the bodies have been charred beyond recognition. This is one of the worst fire tragedies in Kuwait's history. And it has led to a swift response from New Delhi. Last evening, Prime Minister Narendra Modi was briefed about what happened. He released a statement on social media. Prime Minister Modi said that he was saddened by the incident. He directed Kirti Vardhan Singh to leave for Kuwait. That's India's new Minister of State for External Affairs.
DNA test is underway to identify the victims, and as soon as the bodies are identified, their kin will be informed, and our Air Force plane will bring the bodies back.
New Delhi has opened hotlines for the family members of the victims. India is also speaking to local officials in Kuwait to repatriate the mortal remains of the victims. The government of India will compensate their families, but it should not end there. India must ensure that this is not repeated, and for that it must insist on better treatment of its workers overseas, especially those living in the Gulf, because this incident has once again cast a spotlight on their terrible living conditions. Many of them travel to the region for work and are engaged in odd jobs. They work as masons, carpenters, drivers and domestic workers. They lack protections from exploitation and abuse. The Indians who died in Kuwait could have been protected. The early findings of investigators point towards negligence. Workers were crammed in tiny spaces and fire safety norms were clearly ignored. The fire probably started in a kitchen on one of the lower floors, and then it spread rapidly. One of the reasons for that could be this. Some partitions were built inside the apartments to accommodate as many workers as possible. Highly inflammable material was used to build these partitions, and this may have helped the fire spread quickly. By the time the workers realized what was happening, the entire building was on fire. They tried to escape, but they couldn't. Going down the stairs was not an option. The fire had spread everywhere. Some workers tried to exit, but they died of suffocation. Others tried going to the rooftop, but could not because the door was locked. So they were trapped inside a burning building. It was a desperate situation. An eyewitness shared the story of a man who tried to save himself by jumping from the 5th floor. He died after hitting the corner of a balcony. Like I said, a very tragic turn of events. Kuwait's leadership is promising tough measures. Sheikh Fahad Yusuf Al Sabah has spoken. He is Kuwait's Deputy Prime Minister and Interior Minister. He has blamed the owners of this building for the tragedy, accusing them of being greedy. So Kuwait is promising swift action. But what about the others? There are Indian workers across the region living in similar conditions. There are growing complaints about them being exploited. From 2019 to 2023, Indian embassies in the Gulf received more than 48,000 complaints. 48,000. These were made by Indian workers in countries like Bahrain, Oman, Kuwait, the UAE, Qatar and Saudi Arabia, which means that Indian embassies received at least one complaint by these workers every day for years. They were about abusive behavior of the employers, violation of workers' rights, and poor living and working conditions. India sends the largest number of migrant workers overseas. By 2020, some 18 million Indians were living abroad, and the Gulf is a top destination for them. By 2022, 9 million Indians were living in this region. They're also important for the Indian economy. India is the biggest receiver of remittances in the world. In 2022, Indian workers overseas sent some $111 billion back to India. The Gulf countries contributed the biggest share. Countries like Kuwait are completely run by an Indian workforce. 4.2 million people live in Kuwait. Indians make up 21% of the country's population and nearly 30% of Kuwait's workforce. Clearly, these workers are an asset, not just for the Gulf nations, but also for India and its economy. It is time for New Delhi to do more to support them. Fan of Italy's famous cuisine? Well, we are serving it with a side of diplomacy. As the G7 leaders gather in southern Italy, Vantage is taking you to the heart of the action. What's the agenda? Who is invited? And how is Italy preparing for it? Catch the special edition of Vantage throughout this week, only on First Post. Fan of Italy's famous cuisine? Well, we are serving it with a side of diplomacy. As G7 leaders gather in southern Italy, Vantage is taking you to the heart of the action. What's the agenda? Who is invited? And how is Italy preparing for it? Catch the special edition of Vantage throughout this week, only on First Post.